Morning, everyone. Billy D here on NASR on Monday morning, February 16th, 25 after 10 on the East Coast. President's Day in the US of A. So some of us have a half day. I have a break from work, and I wanted to come on and encourage everybody to support the United States women and all the women athletes at the Olympics playing hockey, as the United States will play in a semifinal against Sweden in 15 minutes at 10:40. And Canada will play Switzerland at 3:10. This is the semifinals. The winners will meet in the gold. I know lots of people have, just figured out that these games are coming on this morning, 10:40. I know some people have been complaining about some of the start times, but you got to remember, guys, you're dealing with Milan, Italy. So the time change, I'm not even sure. It's like four hours, I think. So when the 3 o'clock game is really 7 o'clock for them, and I know a lot of people have complained that a lot of the American games are on at 3:10 in the afternoon, and whoever plays in the gold medal game, that'll be 8:10 in the morning on Sunday the 22nd. It's just, you got to just roll with it. But you don't want to miss it. So the U.S. women are coming on now at 12 minutes now is the drop of the puck, 10:40 a.m. from Milan, U.S. Sweden in the first semifinal, followed by Canada and Switzerland at 3:10 p.m. in the next semifinal. The medal round, the single elimination is set in the men's. Canada with the number one overall seed. So Canada won Group A. It was the Canadians, followed by Switzerland, the Czechs, and the winless French. Slovakia won Group B. The Slovaks went 2-1. Finland went 2-1. Sweden went 2-1, and Italy 0-3. Slovakia wins Pool B. USA wins Pool C with a 3-0 record. Germany and Latvia were 1 win, 2 losses respectively, and Denmark finished 1-2. So the 4 teams that got the bye were Canada, Slovakia, USA, Finland, and the correct seeding is Canada 1, USA 2, Slovakia 3, and Finland 4. They do not have to play the single elimination first round. They do not play until the quarterfinals. As you know, all 12 teams advance to the knockout round, which starts tomorrow. Now we're going to give you the schedule of that right now. There's a couple things I want to clear up from yesterday on my right-wrong segment. But we're going to give you the schedule for the men's. We already gave you the schedule for the women. So here's how it's going to go. Let's see here. Tomorrow, you're going to have the single. Now, I'm also kind of dismayed by the draw. I wasn't crazy about the draw. So for the Canada, obviously, it's been like a machine. They look unstoppable. They're the top seed. They're going to play the winner of Czechia and Denmark. Czechia and Denmark will play tomorrow. The top 4 seeds will not play till Wednesday. So Czechia and Denmark and Sweden and Latvia play the early morning game, 6:10 a.m. Now, U.S. will play the winner of Sweden and Latvia. Okay? That's really not a solid. Even Canada. Canada has to play the winners of Czechia and Denmark. Czechia is a good team. I mean, Czechia has a dozen NHLers on that team. That's a good team. That's not much of a reward for finishing top of your pool. And, U.S. probably has the worst draw. If Sweden beats Latvia tomorrow, U.S. has to play Sweden in the quarterfinals. That's a tough matchup for the Americans. Slovakia plays the winner of Germany and France. And Finland will play the winner of Switzerland and Italy. Now, listen. France and Italy are winless in this tournament. I don't think there's any way that they're winning or even coming close to winning. So it's like, Slovakia, who finished 3rd, and Finland, who finished 4th, they have a better draw than the teams that finished in the top 2 than Canada or the United States. And that's kind of, I don't know, that it was non-beneficial to finish in the top two slots. I mean, you'd rather be Slovakia getting the winner of Germany and France. That's the best draw. Slovakia got the best draw in their third, and Finland plays the winner of Switzerland and Italy, which will be Switzerland. And Switzerland is also a good team. 10 NHL players on that team. That's a good team, Switzerland. But still, that's better for Finland than Canada or the United States. Who Canada's going to have to play Czechia, and the United States is going to have to play Sweden. Now, all right, I guess Switzerland did beat Czechia. So it's a little bit better for Canada. But U.S. definitely gets the worst end of this draw. U.S. gets the worst end of this draw. You're going to have to play Sweden in the quarterfinals. For all these people that are salivating over the potential, Canada-U.S. matchup, don't get ahead of yourselves. Listen, I think Canada's going to be there. They look unstoppable. And although the USA is 3-0, they have looked unsteady at times. Obviously, you're not going to see Swayman ever again in net. The backup goaltender should be Ottinger of the Dallas Stars. You're going to see Hellenbuck the rest of the way. But, U.S. kind of, slumbered through the first half of that Denmark game. And they didn't come alive till the middle of the second period where they took control. And, Canada hasn't played like that. They've steamrolled everybody. They've left no doubt. And if U.S. doesn't play their best game, a team like Sweden can knock them off. And if they get that far, Finland is also a dangerous team. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. Of course, all of us here, we're really, we're all hopeful. We're all hopeful that Americans want to see their team advance to the gold and play their arch rival Canada. But that is not a given. Especially not the way this team has played. And I know they're 3-0, and I know that they looked very good yesterday against Germany, winning 5-1, probably their best showing. Captain Austin Matthews finally puts one in the back of the net, and the team looked great. Werenski looked great. Again, the Tkachuk brothers are all over the ice. Team USA played their best game yesterday. They played their best game yesterday with their 5-1 victory over Germany, but they looked unsteady in times against Denmark, which gives you a little cause for concern because in relations to Canada, they're a machine. They're steamrolling teams. The Celebrini, McKinnon, McDavid line looks like the greatest line I've ever seen in hockey. I've never seen a line better than this. I mean, look, let's look at this. I want to just quickly look at the Canadian lines. I mean, they're dangerous. Celebrini, McDavid, and McKinnon on the power play was one of the best lines I had ever seen. I mean, they have a third line that's got Crosby, Mitch Marner, and Mark Stone. I mean, it's scary. Their regular second line is McKinnon, Suzuki, and Hagel. And their fourth line, Marchand has not played. I don't know if Marchand's going to be back. I don't know if John Cooper's resting him because he hasn't been healthy, or if he's just starting to favor Sam Bennett with teammates Sam Reinhart and Bo Horvat on that fourth line, which has been amazing. I mean, the Canadian fourth line has been amazing. I just don't know how I don't know how you match up against that, but I do think the Americans have the best chance to, give Canada a game or defeat Canada outright. I do think the Americans have a chance. But as a sane man, I can't favor that. That's not something I would expect to happen. If I'm betting money on that, I would be betting Canada. I have to be honest. As I wear this proudly on my chest, US of A, I have to be honest with you that the Canadians are the favorite, and they might even be the heavy favorite at this point. Everybody thought this was a toss-up. The way the two teams played, it hasn't looked like a toss-up. But we shall see. We shall see. So, today we got the women in the semis. We know that. And that is about to get underway in 2 minutes. USA, Sweden, followed by Canada and Switzerland at 3:10. Should be both entertaining games to watch. The women have been on a roll. They've got 3-5-0 shutouts and a 5-1 victory to their 20-1. They've outscored the opposition. So here we go. The knockout round starts tomorrow morning, 6:10. Germany, France. Switzerland, Italy. These are 6:10. Czechia, Denmark, 10:40. And Sweden, Latvia, 3:10. That's the game that us here in the States will be focused on, seeing who the United States opponent will be. So Germany, France, 6:10. Switzerland, Italy, 6:10. Czechia, Denmark, 10:40 a.m. And Sweden, Latvia, 3:10 p.m. Wednesday, 6:10 a.m. will be the first quarterfinal game. And that will be Slovakia playing the Germany-France winner at 6:10. Slovakia plays the winner of Germany-France. That is Wednesday the 18th, 6:10. Canada will play the Czechia-Denmark winner at 10:40. Finland will play the Switzerland-Italy winner, and I would pretty much guarantee that's going to be Switzerland at 12:10. And then the United States plays the winner of Sweden and Latvia at 3:10 p.m. Those are your times for Tuesday and Wednesday. Knockout round, quarterfinals on Wednesday. So keep your eyes on the quarters. Germany, France, and Switzerland, Italy kick it off at 6:10 a.m. in the morning. You'll be waking up, getting ready from work. Check your Peacock app. I put this stuff on while I'm at work, and I follow along. Czechia, Denmark at 10:40, and Sweden at Latvia at 3:10. That will set up the quarterfinals for Wednesday, and then you do know now that the quarterfinals will be 6:10 in the morning, 10:40 in the morning, 12:10 in the afternoon, and 3:10 in the afternoon will be your 4 quarterfinals. We will be on the air. We're not going to come on after the single eliminations tomorrow. We will come on the air Wednesday during the quarterfinal rounds, and we'll get you updated. That will be the next time we come on. We're not going to be on tomorrow. We'll be on Wednesday, and I will post the time because we don't know yet. The game started 6:10 a.m., so obviously I'm not going to do a pregame. I'll probably pop on before work, get you up to date on what happened with the early games, and get you set up for the quarterfinals at 12:10 and 3:10 p.m. So you'll see me Wednesday morning. Alrighty. One thing I want to go over before I get out of here. I got a question yesterday while I was on the air, if you saw my hockey show yesterday. And I gave you the format this time around, how all 12 teams make it. And people had asked me, hey, how did it go? What was the format in the past? And I did say that the women were adhering to the usual format, which is a 12-team format, where basically 4 teams don't make it, and it's 1 through 8, 1 through 4 in each pool, play each other. And so you have your 8 teams down to 4 in the semis, which is today, down to the gold medal. So that's how, now that is how the men's tournament used to be as well. Okay, could not remember exactly if it was 12, 16. I stumbled a little yesterday and I got it wrong because I had thought the final round was 6 teams and I was incorrect. That's not what it is. I'm going to give you exactly how it goes in the Worlds, the World Juniors, and the Olympics. Now, in the old days, the Olympics, you remember growing up as a kid when the Russians dominated and the Miracle on Ice and all that stuff. In the old days, before NHL players played in the Olympics used to be composed of 16 teams. Because you used to have teams like Japan and the Netherlands and Slovenia and all these different countries. You had 16 teams. You had 2 groups of 8. And in the 2 groups of 8, 12 teams would advance. 4 teams would get the bye to the quarters. 4 teams would get the bye, but you'd have 12 teams advancing. That's how it used to be. That's how the World Championship still is today. 16 teams and 2 groups of 8, not 3 pools like we have A, B, and C. They have 2 pools, and it's 8 teams in each pool, and 12 teams advance, which I like. I don't believe all the teams should advance as we have in these Olympics. Now, in past Olympics, since the NHL players were involved, they don't have 16 teams anymore because there's just not enough NHL players to fill all 16. I mean, there's no NHL players in Japan and not many in France or Norway or the Netherlands, so they don't do it. It's 12 teams, and usually it's 8 make it, not all 12. So that's how it's done in the past. I got it. I think I said 6 to 6. I didn't answer the question correctly. It came up on the chat, and I was just really giving you the current format. I kind of misremembered, even though I watch these tournaments all the time, I misremembered the exact formats because they're different, and I'm giving them to you now. So the World Championships, as you know, they usually send B-level NHL teams because the NHL playoffs are still going on in May, so all the players can't go because they're still involved in the NHL playoffs. But it's still a pro event, and it's not the A-level teams, but it's the B-level teams. So the Worlds, like the Olympics used to be in the old days, has 16 teams. 2 groups of 8, 12 make it to the knockout round, 4 teams get the bye, 4 teams go home. That's the Worlds. That's the way the Olympics used to be. The last Olympics we saw was 12 teams. 12 teams where 4 go home, 8 make it to the knockout round. 8 make it to the medal round, the quarters. Okay? And it's 1-4, 1-4 in each pool. 2 plays 3, 2 plays 3 in each pool. That's how they did it in 2022 when we didn't send the pros. But even before, when we were sending the NHL guys back in 2002 and 2010 and 2014, all those years, it was 12 teams that were in the pool. 8 teams made it to the knockout round. So 4 teams would go home. This year, they have all 12 teams. That's the difference. So from the past Olympics, it was 12 teams, 8 make it to the knockout round, and 4 teams go home. This year, everybody's got a shot in the knockout round. So that is the difference to answer the question from yesterday. Juniors, little different. And this I had forgotten as well. Juniors only has 10 teams, not 12, not 16. The World Juniors has 10 teams. 8 make it to the knockout round, medal round, whatever you want to call it. And it's 1-4, 1 versus 4 in each group, and 2 versus 3. Okay? 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3. 8 make it, but in the juniors, the 9th and 10th team play each other for relegation. So the loser of the 9-10 matchup isn't allowed to come back at the next tournament. They're relegated out of there. So 9 and 10 play for relegation. 8 out of the 10 make it to the knockout round, and 1 plays 4, 1 plays 4. It's basically right, it's the knockout round in a 8-team playoff is the quarterfinal. So quarterfinal, semifinal, gold medal game, or somebody plays in the bronze medal game. That is your 8-team format. That's what the Olympics used to be like. No byes, 12 teams, 8 to the medal round, quarterfinal, semifinal, and then the medal games, gold or bronze. So that is the difference between the last one and this one. To answer the question from yesterday, I didn't answer that clearly yesterday. I should have been ready to answer that question. That's my bad. But now we got it all straight. I wanted to answer that question because I did kind of, I kind of couldn't remember. I just watched the junior tournament. It's a little different than the Worlds, and I didn't have the answer as straight as I do now, so I hope that clears it up. Because I did say when I gave out the current format yesterday that I'm not crazy about it. I don't think we need, Italy and France playing in a knockout round today. There's no point in it. I don't even think Denmark, I don't think there's a point in it. Those teams don't have any chance to win. It's just an extra wasted game, in my opinion. I think right now we should just have 8 teams and get right to it. Quarterfinal, semifinal, medal games. Because looking at this, the United States hasn't gotten any benefit from finishing second. They're going to have to play in Sweden. Unless Latvia pulls off a colossal upset. But, you never know. That's what makes the Olympics great. This stuff does happen sometimes, but it's unlikely. And even the Canadians, they're going to have to play Czechia. That's like no real gift for finishing first. You'd rather be 1 and then play 4 in your pool. 1-4. They don't do like the NHL playoffs used to do in the old days where it's 1-8, 1-8. They don't feel that's competitive anymore, I guess. But that is it. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to clear that up. I wanted to get you set up for the games. The games are going on right now as we speak. The U.S. game is 8 minutes in. USA women versus Sweden. and there is no score. That game's underway. Go watch it. Go root on Team USA hockey. It's going to be great. Listen, it's very exciting when you root for your country. It's just got that little extra zest to it. I don't know. You get your patriotism behind you. And I'm going to tell you another thing I saw. I saw thousands of U.S. fans piling out of the arena in Milan the other night, and they were all singing the national anthem. And I thought to myself, you know what? We really can be united still as a country for a common goal. It is possible. It's not impossible. We can come together. They proved it, and a lot of times it happens for something, it happens because of sports, something that could seem trivial to others, but so important to different folks, I'd like to think we're all proud of our country and want to see it do well. Anyway, go root on the girls today. Enjoy. You guys have a great day. I got to get back to work. My name's Billy D. This is NASR. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support means so much. It helps keep us going. You can scan the QR code. I noticed some of you guys have been sending me stars or little Venmo, and I appreciate it. We have Venmo. We have Cash App. You can scan the QR code right there, and I appreciate it. Appreciate it so much. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Give you a quick recap of the women. Wednesday morning. We'll be on Wednesday morning. We'll go over. We'll set you up for the gold medal game with the women, and we'll go over the knockout round results with the men. So I'll see you Wednesday morning. I won't be back tomorrow. I'll be back Wednesday morning, probably around 8 a.m. I'll see you then. Root on the Olympics. See you guys later.